Hey everyone, so I have a reason for looking so disheveled, and that is because I'm trying to portray some Hermione hair here. If you don't know what is going on, I think I mentioned it in one of my other videos, but XO Love Letty created a book group on Facebook where we're all reading Harry Potter, and some of the girls have not read the books before, so it's kind of fun to see people reading it for the first time. I love Harry Potter, have for many, many years. I cannot believe that it's already been so long since I first started reading the books, but I like to reread them every so often, and I was already planning to read the series this summer. Well, hopefully, if I could get through them that quickly. But I was planning to reread the series, and then the book group started. I am having a hard time at going with one book a month. So for the month of July, we were to read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which was the original name. I've already started onto the Chamber of Secrets because I can't wait. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work, because the idea is to do something each month, create a look or do a recipe or talk about the book and whatnot. I don't know exactly what everybody else is going to be doing for their video, because I am filming my video now. It's not the end of July yet, but I am getting ready to go out of town for 2 weeks, so I want to film the video now. So I just figured that I would kind of do what I feel like doing, but I will make sure to put links to the other ladies' videos down below. I'm sure that they will have some great looks and great content, whereas this is kind of just my lazy attempt. I have been having a hard month with my depression, so I wasn't really feeling very inspired to do any crazy looks. My husband did throw out a really good idea that I thought was hilarious. He said what he could do is shave his head, and then I could like make up the back of his head to be Voldemort, and he could be like the Professor Quirrell / Voldemort head. You know, he has the turban on, and then undo the head. I thought that was a really good idea and a really funny idea, but I don't want him to shave his head. And I could probably go get like one of those like headpiece things and whatnot, and it just, like I said, it's been a hard month, just wasn't gonna work. And I was like, oh, well, I'll do Hermione, but I know that that seems obvious, but at the same time, I really like Hermione's character, and rereading the first book really reminds me, like when she's describing her and how she is, that actually reminds me a lot of how I used to be as a kid. There was a period in time where I was a know-it-all, and I was just kind of chuckling, and I'm like, oh man, no wonder I didn't have any friends. So that's why I decided to ultimately like kind of honor Hermione here. There really isn't much to do as far as a look. She has bushy hair, and like this is my hair, like not styling it. So yeah, it's kind of a mess. And she's not wearing, she's not described as wearing makeup. She's just like a bushy haired girl with big front teeth. And I could possibly, yeah, I don't have beaver teeth or anything, but I'm just wearing very light, minimalistic makeup because we're like 11 years old here, right? So that is who I chose and why I chose it. I just kind of felt like she was my kindred spirit as a kid, and kind of sucks being a know-it-all. And further in the book, she kind of, well, she's always the know-it-all, but she calms down just a little bit. So this is the book. I had to go and grab this from a used bookstore because my actual set is put away like from the move, and anyways, so I grabbed one of these. I didn't highlight or bookmark or do anything with this because I'll probably take it back to the store. But something that I really liked when rereading this, I think that you either forgot some of the things or you see it in a different light now, and then now that there's movies, you kind of picture the people being who they are. But I really liked the Sorting Hat scene in the book where the Sorting Hat does a song, because you don't get a chance to see the Sorting Hat do the Sorting Hat duties in the other books or even the movies. The other thing is Dumbledore's character. In the first couple books, Dumbledore is pretty quirky. Like, he's just kind of an odd bird, you know, and later in the books, you don't see much of that, and I don't know if it's because the story gets darker and the tone is darker, but in this one, you can just kind of, it's just funny. Like, I really enjoyed revisiting that part of Dumbledore's personality because it does change later on, and I do miss that part where he just says odd things and he kind of acts weird. And you can see that even if you have watched the movies, the difference between the actors that played Dumbledore. And I don't know if it still would have changed because the stories are darker. I'm not sure. But it was just, it was really interesting. I felt like Harry was pretty brave, like in this first book. Like, his personality, he just like automatically jumps into being like a brave person and confronting things head on, where I think sometimes further down the line that I don't want to spoil that. It was refreshing to read this over again, and I've read it a few times. I've read all the books a couple times, and so it's just really exciting. It's really fun. I love these books. It makes me so bummed that there aren't new ones, but there was, J.K. Rowling released like a little excerpt of like a news article that Rita Skeeter wrote recently on the Pottermore website, and her representative said that she has no plans to write anything more about Harry Potter and them being in their older age, but I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope. So, you know, I won't give up, but it is a bummer that the series is over, that there aren't new books, and the actors seem to not really have a lot of interest in revisiting it, but anything can change. My birthday was 2 days ago, July 23rd, and it just so happens that Daniel Radcliffe's birthday is July 23rd. And Daniel Radcliffe is the person who played Harry Potter in all the movies. And I'm just saying, throwing a little nerd out there for you because it's exciting. If you haven't read these books, read them. I was gonna say, leave me a comment, but no, just go read them. But if you haven't read them, tell me why you haven't read them. And I will say that when they first came out, I didn't understand the hype. Like, I was like, why are people lining up for a children's book? It doesn't make sense to me. And I didn't read this book for the first time until I was a senior in high school, and that was because my English teacher was obsessed with Harry Potter and she made us read the first book. But I'm glad she did, because I was hooked. Like, I loved it so much, and it was the same year that the first Harry Potter movie came out. So she had us read the first book, and then if we wanted extra credit, we had to go see the movie and then write a paper describing the differences between Harry Potter and the first movie. And so, yeah, that was a long time ago. It's a very long time ago, like 12 years ago. It's really sad. So I still have that paper that I wrote, and I don't know, I just love it so much. I don't have any experience doing like booktube videos and things like that. I don't get to read as much as I'd like to. I used to read all the time. The other thing is my tastes have changed. I'm really a lot more sensitive. So, like, I read Divergent and I liked that a lot, but usually I will look up spoilers to make sure that I'll be okay, and I didn't before I read that one, and so now that I know what happens in the third book, I can't finish the series. It's like really depressing to me. So books that are just really depressing, like, I don't want to read them. I won't read Fault in Our Stars because that would just have me in an even worse emotional state than I'm already in. And yes, there are certain things about Harry Potter that's depressing, but it's not in the same way, if that makes sense. So if you have any recommendations of books that you think that I would like or that you thought were really good, please leave them down below, because I would like to create a reading list. And that's the other thing I need to be better at, is creating a list, because whenever I'm finished with a book, then I'm like, oh, I have all these books that I know I said I wanted to read, but then I forget what they were. So I actually need to write them down and start reading. As far as reading a Harry Potter book a month, I don't know that I'll be able to hold off, because if I start one book and I finish it in a week, then I have 3 weeks. Other people can go read like other books, but I prefer to just keep going because I want to. I really love these books. I really love this series. And when I'm reading a series, I like to go through them all. I don't like to wait. But we'll see what happens. And hopefully I'll get better at talking about books, because it is it's a passion that I'm interested in getting back into, because it's been years since I was able to really get into reading and enjoying all of that, and I want to do it again. And yeah, if you have any favorite channels of people that do that talk about books and share books and whatnot, leave them down below. I would love to check them out. And I hope that you guys are all doing well. Please read these. Please read these. And yes, the writing is a little bit more, I don't want to say immature, but younger. But I would say by the 3rd book, it does start to get more adult, and definitely the last couple books were a lot more heavy, and you can see that her, she really kind of geared it more towards older people, but it's still a really good book. It's easy to get lost into it. I love the characters. I love the storyline. I love the magical world of Harry Potter. And yes, I am looking forward to chatting with you guys all about it. And I hope that you guys are all doing well. I will talk to you soon. Bye.